to what happened in the first chamber the party came across. Like the entirety of this cavern is groaning from the impact of the hammer. And as this groan effectively flows out from the source, the rubble from up above the party, where the spout of mud is flowing out, breaks and chips, leaving a number of rocks to fall and tumbling down towards where you guys are located. Art and Mushi managed to dodge out of the way of most of them, only taking 10 points of bludgeoning damage themselves. Lothar and Threx both feel the full force of 20 points of boulders crashing down upon.
I think I've done more damage to myself than any enemy has so far. Falling from the sky, falling into a river, rocks falling on me.
But Threx, after you regain yourself, after this collapse of the ceiling above you, you look at and see a number of the crystals broken, and where they broke, they effectively are no longer glowing as brightly, but most of them look to be unaffected.
Threx, I believe we should wait. Oh, I think that passage must be held until last. I have a feeling we're going to have to go through there again in a little bit.
I'd
like to say it's working, but I just don't think it's the best way to go about it, so maybe don't throw it again.
Gorneo and Rory, you guys are walking your way down this tunnel, continuing for a few dozen steps or so before the passage opens up into a smooth stone bridge flanked by a number of boulders kind of growing out of this cliff face. The bridge itself is about 5 feet wide with no railings and spans this wide cavern that echoes with these strange clacking noises. The bridge itself looks to be about 40 feet long and fairly sturdy.
Finally, a bridge.
Can I get a perception check from either, whoever's in the lead?
Yes.
Whoever's what now?
Perception check.
19.
18. Gorneo, as you kind of peek your head into the chamber beyond, you can see a number of creatures you've encountered once before in the depths of the Underdark. Their own bodies hulking inside with a large chitinous shell forming up most of their forms. Their arms look to end in tipped talons, their beaks reminiscent of vultures, but noticeably different. They're almost blind-looking, lightless eyes stare around as these creatures release a series of clacks and clicks and occasionally scrape their talon claw across the surface of the solid stone ground. And this is effectively the source of that scraping and clicking sounds. There looks to be at least 5 that you can see.
Oh, that's a lot. He'll back Rory up and he'll say, those are called hook horrors. Very dangerous.
Rory, you're having a tough time making out the specifics of what Gorneo just said, as from behind you guys, the audible crash of some significant impact can be heard ringing, and dust kind of flows out through this passageway ever so slightly.
We don't know who did that.
For the briefest of moments, a number of these creatures look up towards the passage, where both Gorneo and Rory are presently.
Oh shit. Did they see us?
You have no idea. They are looking in your direction.
Gorneo will just, he'll hold up his finger to his lips and he won't make a sound. And he'll just make that quiet noise. Because he's pretty sure that these guys don't use sight, they use their hearing. And he'll just kind of motion for Rory to go back up the tunnel very quietly.
Rory, you can see as Gorneo's pressed a firm finger to his lips to indicate shush, and he starts pointing behind you. On the other side of Gorneo, one of these creatures seems to be slowly stepping its way forward, looking up towards the tunnel that you two are now at. If it were a dog, you would think it would be smelling some kind of an odd scent, as it seems focused and weaving its head with every step, refocusing itself upon where you are presently perched.
Okay. Rory's gonna quietly start backing up in the direction that Gorneo indicated.
And after a few dozen steps, Rory and Gorneo return to the remains of the party.
Ugh.
Gorneo will say, there are hook horrors down that way. I count 5. What was that shaking?
Science. We was doing science.
What are hook horrors?
Hook horrors. They're creatures from the Underdark. Large claws. Very dangerous.
More dangerous than these gems that are from the Underdark?
Well, hook horrors we can kill.
And as we've learned, we can kill these crystals as well, but there is
The hook horrors,
consequences.
they will make noise.
Such as?
We'll announce ourselves, but then again.
Did you say such as, Rory?
Yeah.
The consequences are very loud. As I'm sure you've heard.
The hook horrors aren't going to be much quieter, but there's a bridge down that way that we could cross.
Well, we will follow you then. You know where you're going, and
Better the foes we can see and hit than a bunch of gems that I'm not really sure how they work.
If you hit them, it makes a loud boom, and they fall off and don't magic anymore. Sad part, I'm too strong. I make a cave in.
Well, use your hammer on the hook horrors. They have a large, hard exoskeleton, which will be fun for you to crack.
Alright. To the hook horrors then?
you said there's 5 of them. If I could get a good shot in, I could get a good fireball on the group of them if they're clustered together before we make our main entrance.
I think that's a good idea.
Good idea.
Here's what we're gonna do. Everyone, get near me, and I'm gonna use. I've never actually used this. I'm gonna use 2 key points to cast Pass Without a Trace on the group.
All right.
Oh boy. Now my cave-ins are not so loud.
Gorneo will say they are very perceptive when it comes to sound, so move as quietly as you can.
If I'm not doing my hammer, I'm okay at sneaking up on people.
Just sneak and then throw.
Drake starts to tiptoe that way.
So Yushi, yeah, you can go
Yeah,
first.
I'll go first and try and, as soon as I see them, I'd cast a fireball, trying to center
So,
hit
effectively
everyone.
for marching order, we've got Mushi followed by Threx.
Sure.
Lothar will take the back.
Lothar in the rear.
I'll go third.
Gorneo third.
I'll go behind for now.
All right.
And
Altair
Altair
can
and then
go
Defender, I
back,
guess.
but-
Art right in front of Lothar.
And everyone gets a plus 10 to your stealth check.
But that's good. Are we rolling stealth checks?
If you would like to be sneaky about this, you are certainly free to try.
Oh, yes. That is so lucky. I'm first. I'm so quiet.
It's a Come on, no.
Okay, you get to add plus 10 to it, so that's a 25.
Alright.
So for everyone else,
It's
this
no
might mess up
33,
your
but,
perspectives a little bit. But Amanda, for your sake, can you see this?
Wait. Okay, I can see stuff happening, yes. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. So I want to cast my fireball, and one pinging here, and then I'd like to use sorcery points to.
Just froze a bit. So casting it where?
One of them here, and then I'm going to use sorcery points to do quicken spells, so I can cast another one. I think hitting here will hit the other 3.
All right.
Maybe only 2 of them, but I'll take it.
Going for there and there-ish?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and roll for the first one.
Can we get an observer over there?
1 second.
Because I'm in nothing but black.
Right. I said I might mess with you guys for a second.
No, that's fine.
So first one, fail. Fail. Natural 1. And go ahead and cast the second version.
And all those ones are automatically 2s.
The first one have any ones? No. Okay. 26.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So first guy, natural 20. Second guy, fail. Third guy, fail. So, minus 26. Minus 26. And minus 13. All right. With that, can I get everybody else to effectively roll initiative as we now bring you guys into this map? Hereabouts.
Man, I can't roll it. I can't find my.
Nice.
Where are you, Rory?
All right, I'm back. Oh, okay. Yushi did a thing. Oh, she did 2 things. Okay.
2 things.
2 things.
Cool.
Lothar is as quiet as the night, even more quiet than the shadow Gorneo.
Only by 2.
I know.
So sneaky. Nice.
Brilliant.
Sorry. Forgot I wasn't
That was
here.
beautiful.
No. That's
It's
great.
an intimidation tactic.
No.
You're being
Yeah.
smart.
All right. And Lothar,
18.
18.
Remember, I'm the odd one.
Now we've got to
I'm a
work
rebel.
on your
I'm a
counting
rebel.
skills.
So that's everybody?
You gotta work on my what?
I wrote a 28.
Counting skills.
Yeah.
Counting.
Yeah.
I counted 5.
Yes, we've got to work on that.
Nice with that.
How many are there?
sir.
More. More than
Oh,
5.
shit. Oops.
And boom.
Hey, I tell you the information I have, all right? It's not always perfect information.
So, Threx, as you are creeping up behind Mushi, you see her stop towards the edge of this cliff face before looking over, surveying, and seeming to focus on the clusters, loosing a firebolt to the one end, and it illuminates half of this cavern with this bright explosion of fire as it explodes, racking. You can hear a number of screams of pure just pain as these beasts are burned. As she grabs the entirety of that flame, lifts it up over to the other side of this bridge, and drops it on 3 more of these hooked horrors, similarly echoing out in agony. As they scream and wail, you can see all of them turning their focus towards this central point after Mushi audibly cast out this fireball as a verbal spell. What would
I'm
you
not
like
so
to do?
stealthy anymore.
Is this a surprise round?
Didn't we all have like attacks ready?
You can certainly presume so.
Yeah, wasn't that the idea? We were all gonna kind of like let Yushi leave.
As
but
soon
we
as
were
she
all-
goes, we're gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would they get to us? I take a quick gander. Can they go up the rocks to my left and right?
I mean, the rocks look to be a solid stone.
I'm asking
And-
how steep. Like, is it a straight wall or?
Double checking. It looks to be a fairly steep wall, yes. And
Nice.
double checking for the height of the bridge.
trying to see how they can get up to us.
The bridge is 40 feet above the floor.
So they probably couldn't get to us. How tall are they?
They are about 10 feet tall each.
So if I kind of bend down a little bit, I can throw my hammer at them.
Like, if you want to lean over one side of the bridge to throw your hammer, you can certainly try.
All right, I'll try.
All right, so disarming your shield to grip with that hand. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check to lean over to effectively one-arm Tarzan off the side of this bridge to throw your hammer. And which one are you targeting?
The only one I can reach this range would be the one directly to my right.
All right. So Misha, you watch as Threx pushes past, dropping his shield to his back to its holster, leaping off the side of the bridge, holding on with one hand as he just throws his hammer towards the nearest entity.
He reminds me of another dwarf I knew.
That's everything I can do this round.
To roll
Yeah.
an attack roll.
Oh, I thought it took an action to do that.
Presuming you use the entirety of your movement to get over the edge
Okay.
to throw this hammer. And a 22 is going to hit, blasting into its hard chitinous form for 22 points of bludgeoning damage. It howls out.
Cognar would have jumped off.
All right, that would be my turn.
Rory.
She's gonna take her short bow of the Stag Sentinel and use her thunder arrow and kind of just 3 targets the ones nearest to her.
All right.
Do I do the short bow first and then the extra arrows? Or
Which
the
ones are you targeting?
the ones closest to me? I can't see much.
Because they are currently around a corner from you.
All right, I'll go forward.
So using 15 feet of movement, you can get to there.
That's perfect. I like that. And I'll go for this motherfucker. This one. There you go. And
All right.
this one.
1, 2, 3. Fire away. First arrow sinks into its form, dealing 12 plus 25 for 32? No. 37 points of damage. As your arrow sinks into the first one, its screeching stops as it collapses. Second arrow.
Second arrow.
Bounces off the shell of the creature. Third arrow. A 23 connects, dealing 7 piercing and 2 lightning to it. As it screams out and starts to effectively snort and stomp its legs before slapping its large claws on either side of its form. Anything else you would like to do?
That's it.
Both are.
Well, Lothar's in the back of the pack, so he can't actually see anything.
Correct.
So I'm going to move, and I assume that they told me that there was a bridge past this tunnel. So I'm going to double move.
How far back was he?
To there. I was at the very back, apparently.
You said you wanted to be at the back.
Yep. So that's it.
All right, Gorneo.
I will.
I will yell back and say, there's actually 7 that I can see.
Out to here with you because I'm afraid of no book horror.
I'm afraid of no ghost.
Okay, so you killed that one. Wow, there were a lot of them. I will use the remainder of my movement. There. Good survey of the room. Which ones does she hit harder? These ones or these ones?
Looks like the ones on the left got hit harder.
Okay, I'm gonna try to put that one out of its misery. I'm gonna throw a boomerang at it.
All right. 25 is going to hit, dealing
That does the thunder
17,
damage.
so 24 points of damage total, correct?
What it looks like.
Sneak around, right?
Boom, blasts into this creature.
Well, actually, he
and
gets
it
assassinate,
screams
right?
out.
Oh, is it
You
surprise?
would on this. Because this creature has
It
not
hasn't
yet gone
acted
in
in
initiative.
combat.
Okay, so that's another D4.
Well, you just double your whole roll, right?
Oh yeah, I guess I could
It's a
just
crit.
roll it again.
Go ahead and roll the dice again, yeah.
And so,
Boomerang,
Six.
take all the damage.
4.
so it's just
Yeah.
that minus 5.
All right, so for 12 plus 10 for 22. As the
8
boomerang
plus 10,
launches from
6,
Corneo's
Yes,
hand,
22.
it cracks the side of its hard beetle-like shell, and in doing so just explodes it into a violent orange goo, spattering across the side of the wall nearby where this creature was standing. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I guess second attack I'll hit this one.
And what are you using for this?
Boomerang again.
Second boomerang? Launching
That's
second
only an
boomerang. And 11 just bounces off the side of its husk.
Actually, question,
and just
does
clatters down to the
assassinate
ground. Go ahead.
happen twice?
It's the first.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was, since he's getting multiple attacks, that it's...
Because
still
effectively,
hasn't
after
acted.
the first attack, they
Oh.
are aware.
Oh, okay.
That's the mercy.
Fair enough.
I will. It's fucking broken how it is written. So I don't know.
Well, rogues aren't supposed to get a second attack, so that's why it's balanced.
Yeah. Well, I'm level 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to do?
Yes, I'm going to use the rest of my my bonus action to dash the rest of the way, so I can
All right.
keep an eye on this hallway for the group. And that's the end of my turn.
All right.
And I will have to recover.
Corneo, as you get to the other side of this, go ahead.
I was just reminding myself to recover my boomerang.
Okay. Corneo, as you make it to the other side of this bridge after just gooifying one of these hooked horrors down below, the boulder that was present here on the other side of this bridge turns and looks at you before opening its large maw and speaking out in Terran. Intruder.
Which
And it reaches out to a number of rocks beside it.
where's this
And
rock
you can
at?
effectively, right here, as it turns round, it touches hold of a number of other boulders, somewhat embedded in the side of the wall, as it shouts out, "Intruder!" And a strange sensation happens as these boulders then stand themselves up, opening their own maws. Echo that call. Intruder! Intruder! As the second and third effectively reach out for you with a 21 and a 13 to hit.
21 hits.
That is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage as it just swings its fist and it connects with you. As the hook horrors below, in this frenzy from being stirred up before, just start charging their way forward, and upon being stopped by this sheer cliff wall, use their hooked arms and just sink them into the sides of these solid stone walls themselves, as if climbing pickaxes, and just begin to start throwing their massive weight up the sides of the wall. And effectively, the one closest to Lothar starts climbing his way up, but can only get about 20 feet up. So it's about halfway up the way. The others are all charging forward towards the audible sounds. And making use of a dash action, this guy climbs the rest of the way up and is effectively level. The closest one is now level with Lothar.
This wasn't a surprise round?
It was not. As it seemed, whatever rupture of the cavern below seemed to catch their attention towards this cavern specifically. And while they didn't notice you guys initially, after the fireballs loosed off, they were once again aware of the presence at this opening point. So the ones with the blue dots are on the ground. And the ones with the green dot, I'm going to say, are halfway up the wall. The ones with no dot are level with the party. Yushi.
Okay, so I'm going to see this one trying to climb the wall.
Yep.
And hopefully slowing it down enough so I won't finish climbing the wall.
As you blast into its form with the ray of frost, it suffers 8 points of cold damage and does seem to slow its climb somewhat. So we'll use
And that's
that.
I'm going to take a step back as well. Don't like being up close and personal with these things.
All right, Mushi, as you're starting to step away, a claw comes flying over Lothar's head in your direction with a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
That is going to be...
I guess I'll take my reaction to do that.
Currently, Threx, your shield is on your back because you're holding on to the bridge.
Yep.
So, Mushi, that's going to be 9 points of piercing damage coming your way.
Okay, and seeing that just happen, I will use my bonus action.
All right. Mushi flares up.
And that's my turn.
All right. As Art makes his way forward, coming into the cavern, and with 90 feet, he's effectively coming up to right. Actually, they're on the ground. He's going fully forward to here to take a swipe at 2 swipes at the one that just struck at Mushi. The first is going to miss, but the second is going to slice into its form. Threx.
What kind of action would it take for me to put my shield back on if I get back up there?
Well, it's an action to re-equip your shield.
Alright, screw my shield for this fight. And I'm in melee with the guy all the way across from Lothar.
If you climb back up, effectively half your movement, we'll say, pulling yourself back up.
But I'm not if I stay here?
Correct.
Alright, I'll throw my hammer 2 times like at his
All
back.
right. Phew.
Underneath the bridge, take out his legs.
As this dwarven thrower crashes into the beetle-like appendages of this beast that just struck at Mushi and took a blade from Art, it just collapses as it falls and screams out its last scream before just kind of cracking as it makes impact with the ground, and this orange blood starts to ooze out from a number of gashes in its form down below. And for the sake of cleaning things up a bit, we'll move the dead bodies away.
I get back on there and I stand here.
All right.
And I'll look at the party and I tell them either back away in the cave or get on the bridge. I'll block.
All right. Rory.
Okie dokie. Do. Didn't get that far. Or yeah. Rory's gonna go this far, and from here, she's going to trying to decide if I want to use a spell right now because I can only use it once. I think
choice is yours.
I'll just fire an arrow at
All right.
the closest one to Ataye.
All right. So the one with the green dot that is currently climbing up the wall. That's going to be a hit, dealing 27 points of piercing damage to this guy. As the arrow sinks deep into his back as an orange spout of goo just bursts forth from the wound. No, I'm going to make him roll an athletics check to see if he can hold on. He does hold on. Natural 19. He holds on.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to do?
That's my turn.
Lothar!
All right, Lothar's wrong thing. Lothar's gonna move to here a little bit more, and he's gonna go ahead and. How wounded does the climbing hook horror look?
Fairly wounded.
Fairly wounded. All right. Well, I'm just gonna finish it. 2 Eldritch Blasts at the climbing hook horror.
Fire away.
That is 2 21s.
Both gonna hit.
Let's see, that's going to be 21 points of force damage.
21 points of force damage. You, following the pinpoint hole that Roy left behind, you focus these 2 Eldritch Blasts, and like an X-Wing targeting the Death Star, just exploded forth from the inside.
That's my turn.
All that's left of that creature is just a stain on the wall, this orange stain. Gorneo.
I am going to... These things are making a lot of noise, aren't they?
I think that ship sailed.
Yeah, I know, but still. Fuck it. I want to cast this just because it's going to be fun. I want to use the chain lightning.
All right.
So if it hits this guy first, then it could go to 1, 2, 3 targets.
All right. What's the range that they have to be from each other?
30 feet.
So this guy is currently down 40 feet. So I'm going to say
so
he's too far for
if
the
I cast it
fourth,
at this guy,
you could
can
hit
I do
those
it then
3.
1,
Yes.
2, and 3?
Effectively, you can't get the hook horror because he's more than 30 feet.
How
But
far
you
down
could-
is he?
You could get the 3 rock bolt. They're 40 feet down.
Oh, they're 40 feet
40
down.
feet down.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just do these 3 guys. So
All right.
that's... They have to make a dexterity save, and it's 10d8 lightning damage.
Roll those 10d8. The first 2 fail, but the third succeeds. And 46 points of lightning damage to each of them. To 2 of them. And 23 to the third. Awesome. As Gorneo focuses one of the sapphires towards the tip of Windvane, glows brightly before releasing a static charge some members of the party have seen loosed from Arisi Kalanoth before. Mushi, uncomfortably familiar with this, as this was the same exact attack that struck you after being declared vain, and before a series of curses loosed from her as you were just trying to talk to the woman. You see now cast once again from Gorneo. As it surges through the 3 animated boulders in front of him, they all cry out, as it just dances between the 3 of them.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to double check. I'm going to use a key point to take the dodge action.
All right.
That's the end of my turn.
Awesome. As the boulders that you just struck with this lightning, the two to your south, Corneo, drop down and pull their arms and legs up close to each other. And something unknown to the party, but suffered by Cognar, they start to roll their way forward over the bridge. Rory, they're coming straight towards you. Can I get a... And as
Why
they
do
are
things never attack me?
as they are barreling down, Rory, the first one is going to be a 13 to hit. And the second is going to be a 26 to hit.
Sorry, what was the first?
13, I think I said.
That one. The second one does.
26 is going to hit Rory. As this creature slams its form into you, can I get a strength save to avoid being knocked off the bridge?
This isn't going to go well.
Come on, Rory. Natural 20. Good enough.
Awesome. So Rory takes 23 points of damage, but stands strong against this animated boulder that just barreled its way forward towards you.
Can I use evasion or anything to cut that in half?
Not for the strength save, you can't. But you do get an opportunity attack at the first one who effectively bounces back off of you.
You can use Uncanny Dodge to half melee damage, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Uncanny Dodge.
There you go. So Uncanny Dodge could work in this situation. Having the damage from 23 to 11.
I'll take it.
All right. And are you taking the opportunity attack? Or is the Uncanny Dodge a reaction? Okay.
Yeah.
But Mushi and Threx, you guys hear a similar cry echoing out from the boulder right next to you as it loosens its arms and legs, standing up, opening its large maw. And Mushi, you can understand it speaking Terran. Intruders! And it reaches forward to a number of boulders nearby it. And they, too, start to effectively animate in place. And Mushi, echoing on either side of you, you hear that same cry, intruders! And they come in. Mushi,
Oh dear.
this guy moves around to here, and Threx, one of them is swinging at you with a 13 to hit. Mushi, the one swinging at you with an 8 to hit.
That will not hit.
As these horrors start to climb up the sides of the bridge, or sides of the wall, and are able to get... This guy gets 30 feet up the wall. Green dot. This guy, 15 feet up the wall. This guy, 15 feet up the wall. This guy, 15 feet up the wall. Yushi.
This just changed all my plans. Thanks. Felt prepared. Now I'm not. Just. Okay. I'm just going to target this guy with.
That was which guy?
The one behind me.
Okay. Starting with Tinder Strike, a 22 is going to make impact as your blade sinks into its stone exterior, dealing 10 points of damage to it.
12 fire damage.
12 fire. Is that for spells or for all attacks?
I think it's just fire damage.
Fire damage, you're right. Extra 5 damage. So that is going to up it to 12 and 30, 15 points of damage with Tinder Strike as you
I'm
slice
so good
into
with
it.
daggers, guys. Just want you guys to recognize this. I am a dagger
And she
queen.
gives up on quarterstaffs, having no luck with those, and switches to daggers
I
as she's
see why
seen
everyone
Glory
likes
Tornado
them.
use many a time before. Anything else you would like to do?
And there's not that I'd like to do, but that's what I've got for now.
All right.
I gotta re-strategize. Should be interesting.
So Art is going to take a quick survey of, how's everybody doing? And seeing everyone doing roughly okay come D4 on this. And he kind of drifts off the side of the bridge to slice at the ones climbing up the side of the wall that is effectively closest up. And both gonna miss. Natural 1 and a natural 4. Rex.
His hook horrors, if they dash, they make 15 feet? Up?
If they climb, they can get 30. Just as movement.
And how far is the closest one to the top?
This guy's 30 feet up, so he's 10 feet down from the bridge.
And how about the guy to my right?
He's 15 feet up.
I'll start doing something. I'm gonna do something silly.
Let's hear it.
The guy next to Mushi, I'm going to try to grab him
Which
and
one?
try
And that's three guys. around me.
underneath me and to the left.
Okay.
I'm going to try to attempt to throw him off the ledge.
All right. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check with disadvantage.
13.
You reach forward and heft up this boulder with all of your might and launch it down the side towards this climbing hooked horror. If you could, please roll me 3d6 plus your strength modifier.
Oh.
As this boulder effectively slams down into the hook horror for 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And falls off from its climbing position, and both it and that animated stone collapse down in the solid stone beneath it.
With my second attack, I'm just going to try to straight up shove the guy to my right and try to make him fall off since he's close to the edge.
All right. One more athletics check at disadvantage. A 24 to beat. You slam into the creature next to you, but are unable to move it from its position.
All right, I suppose that's my turn.
Glory.
Yes. All right. Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, in Tangle, it says that it comes from the ground. Now, technically, a cliff face could qualify as ground in that it is all at some point the ground, depending on what
You're
level.
certainly free to try.
How tall are the walls? Again,
The
cliff faces.
The entirety of the wall, the cliff, you guys are 40 feet up from the ground below you, and the cliff continues up about 30 feet from the bridge. The walls continue up. So the ceiling's 30 feet above you, the floor is 40 feet below you.
Okay. For the 20 feet below the bridge, I'll cast Entangle down the wall in a square. So not touching anyone, but except the wall itself. Does that make sense?
All right. So effectively trying to make the wall difficult terrain?
Yes.
All right. And where are you casting that at? Effectively on the left half of the bridge or the right half of the bridge?
Oh yeah, I would like it. Why aren't you getting my on this half?
All right. And that's a 20-foot area? 20-foot
Oh.
cube?
Should I do it over here since Ate, you're probably going to take care of business on this half? Or should I help Ate?
It's up to you.
Oh, dilemma. I'll keep it over here. That was my
All right. So effectively, that area is going to be difficult terrain. If you could go ahead and cast that for me.
Okay. I think. I don't have it on here, but I can roll it. So first I need to roll what? It's a d20, right? Or do I just cast it?
They're gonna get a save.
I'm going to say it's a save. This is Entangle, right?
Yeah.
So a strength save or be restrained. And what is your spell save DC? So effectively, what number do they have to beat? Left, a 20 total, right with a 8 total.
Spell save DC, I want to say is like 15 or something.
It's gonna be 12 plus your wisdom.
Oh, okay. So 13.
13. So the one on the right is effectively wrapped up by these vines. As they attempt to wrap up the one on the left, he breaks free and just continues his climb. But at a noticeably slower pace.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do?
And I'll go another 25 feet across the bridge.
You will provoke an attack of opportunity from the guys that just rolled into you if you try to walk away from them.
Can I use my bonus action to
Disengage? Absolutely.
That's what I'll do.
Awesome.
And I'll
So you can't go through their space. So you can go back the way you came, but not forward through them.
And I can't like crouch beneath them and weave around.
Not these guys, no.
Not these guys. Could I skirt along the rope, like along the other side?
There is no rope.
Oh, there is no
There's
rope.
no handrails. It's just basically a flat stone surface that connects these two hallways.
Hmm. In that case, I guess I can't go anywhere. I'll use my bonus action to... Oh, but Can I cast a spell and then use a bonus attack? With like a dagger or something?
It's two separate actions.
I don't believe so, no.
Oh gosh.
You can disengage and let Lothar fight him.
Well, yeah, that doesn't seem very nice.
So what would Rory like to do?
She'll stay where she is. That's her turn.
Cool beans. Lothar.
Let's see. Lothar is going to... He's gonna cast Hex on the one that's restrained.
All right.
And give it disadvantage on strength checks.
All right.
As well as 2 Eldritch Blasts towards it.
Fire away, sir.
And it's restrained, so I get advantage, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so that's a natural 20 on one and a 28 on the second.
That's 2 hits. Roll some damage.
Right.
Don't forget that extra hex damage.
Which gets doubled on the first. So the first attack does... let's see, that's 12. 19 on the first.
All right.
And 20 on the second.
Nice. Each of these just blast into the creature, just revealing chunks of some sort of gore underneath. It's tough, insectoid-like husk. Both of them blast into the creature successfully, and as it continues to struggle against the vines. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that's it.
Gorneo.
I'm going to hit this one that's still facing me down.
All right.
30 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
You sure?
16, 24 points of damage.
And then does a 15.
Second swing is Y advantage on the second one.
15?
Sorry, 15, yeah, is not going to hit. Oh, you said 18.
Nope. And
Okay.
then bonus 23.
Third swing is going to make impact with it.
And that is the end of my turn.
Awesome, awesome. It's going to raise its fist up and try to slam in your direction, sir, with a 16 to hit.
That misses.
Rory, the one closest to you, is going to raise its fist and attempt to slam with a 23 to hit.
Yeah, a little.
So, Rory, it's going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
No, it only hits for a little bit.
I specified that from the beginning.
I don't know if you heard that part, but it was only a little.
Slams into the side of you, Rory. And can I get a dexterity save, please?
Okay.
I heard it pop up on someone else's screen.
I heard it, but I don't see it. There it is, 18.
Okay. Rory, it slams into the side of you, but you manage to resist being shoved off the side of the bridge once again, in a somewhat different manner this time. As the one to the south of Mushi raises up its fist and tries to slam towards her with a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, Mushi, that is going to be 14 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay, and then I roll. One second. I think.
Ryan, I took 15, right?
Yes, 15. And you could uncanny dodge to drop it to 7 if you want to use your reaction to do so.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
And that's how much he takes for hitting me.
Awesome. 10 points of damage done to him. As he recoils, you can see his fist is somewhat melted after making impact with you, and he gives it a confused look before looking back up at you, and his maw opens. Intruders. Threx, the one nearest you, is going to attempt to shove back in your direction with a total of 10. Go ahead and roll me an opposed athletics check, please.
If I rolled it
26,
out,
you
what?
managed, right? You managed to resist its poor attempt at a shove, as the audible clatterings of a number of hooked horrors continue to climb their way across the surface. This guy manages to get just level with the difficult terrain to effectively get on level with the bridge, and he's going to take a swipe at Threx. With a natural 20 to hit, is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage to Threx. Sorry, 16 points, 15 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
As that guy is going to stand back up for half of its movement and attack the boulder that struck it. Scrape a portion of it off, as this one is going to continue to climb and gets further up the way as we now go into 3D D&D.
We're starting infighting. They're fighting each other.
This guy is now going to take a clawed attack at Threx with a 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm. It hits.
For 9 points of piercing damage to you, sir. These two are at level. That guy's attack. Rock. Yushi.
Okay, so this guy directly in front of me, he's level with me, but these guys are on the cliff face.
This guy
on
is
the
level
ground.
with you on the cliff wall. This guy is level with you on the cliff wall. Beneath the guy on the left, there's one restrained by a number of vines, and on the ground is this guy fighting the rock boulder directly beneath this guy.
So here's my question. If I were to cast my lightning bolt, could I hit all three of these guys?
No. You could effectively choose.
I couldn't angle it.
You could hit like the top two.
You're not that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually very tall. Okay.
Because you can't angle it downwards just because you're far enough from the ledge you can't see the two down there.
That's what I was wondering. That's fair. Okay. Well.
But you could certainly strike this guy with your lightning bolt.
Yeah, for sure.
Even get the one by Gorneo.
That's a great thought. Well, seeing that I get disadvantage on spell attacks anyways, I'm going to turn to the guy behind me and once again stab him.
Stabbing.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so good with this dagger. I've been waiting for it my whole life.
12 and 7 for 19.
And
For a total of
plus
24 points of fire damage. As you just rip a new a-hole into this guy behind you. It is something fierce, as it's like you're carving a jack-o'-lantern out of this boulder. And as your blade rips through it, you can still see the red-hot molten stone cool rapidly where your blade carves through its form. Anything else you would like to do?
Ever. I wish I could do more than one attack. But no, that's what I can do right now.
All right.
I'm very proud of myself.
Art is going to move around to effectively flank the guy up top. Now try to swipe at them. First is a hit. Wow. Rolled 2 natural 10s and then 2 natural 4s. So the first is going to hit, dealing the guy topside damage. And with that, Threx.
Hey, how's the guy topside look?
The one on your left is starting to look rough.
Alright. I suppose I'll try to hit.
All right. A 27 is going to make impact. This is a disadvantage because you're firing with a melee opponent next to you. Correct?
That wasn't. I thought it was melee range.
Okay, meleeing it, you can certainly hit.
Yeah, that was my melee attack.
Okay. Slamming into the creature next to you, there's an audible, horrendous crunch of its shell as a portion of it just spills forth its innards. This viscous, bright orange fluid coats your arm as it spatters across you. Still up.
I guess I'll try it one more time.
And following the same impact, crunch into it again. And it howls, and it dips its beak closer towards your face. You can feel the warmth of its disgusting breath as its spittle fuel just flies onto your face. Anything else you would like to do?
Just tell it has bad breath.
Rory. Are you muted?
Yep, I am. Rory wants to attack the creature in front of her.
All right.
Try and shove her away. Well, not shove her away. She won't win. But there's 2 of them, right? There's that guy.
There are 2 of them. There's one immediately behind it.
Okay. Well, one at a time. One at a time.
All right.
We'll do rapier attack.
All right. 26 is going to hit, dealing 24 points of damage. Rory, as your blade pierces into the tough, rocky hide of this creature, it seems to noticeably scratch scrape off a large portion, and the blade almost falls short. And rather than piercing in deeply, it seems as if this creature is somehow resistant to your ordinary iron. As you effectively deal half the amount of damage.
What? Okay.
Just found something that I should have done last round. Try it next time.
That's it. That's my turn. Like me.
All right, Lothar.
All right. How's the entangled one looking?
Kind of rough.
Kind of rough.
Not nearly as rough as the one above it.
All right.
That is engaged with Threx.
Go for the one above it.
All right.
Let's say 15. It's not going to hit.
15 is exactly what you need to do.
Oh, snap.
It beats it.
And a 27.
Also going to hit.
All right. That's going to be 22 points of force damage.
22 points of force damage. As it is rearing back with another claw to attack at Threx. You see Threx rear back, slamming into its side, taking the opportunity as its claws lifting up, and he just crunches into it as you blast right into the wound that Threx left behind. And it falls.
Ooh, on top of the other one?
On top of the other one, but that other one is fairly well restricted into these vines. It does take some damage as the guy falls on top of it, but is otherwise still where it was.
That's it.
Anything else you'd like to do? Dorneo.
I will continue fighting my foe.
All right.
That's gonna miss.
You swing, it bounces off of its
That'll hit.
solid stone exterior before the second it makes impact, and you can feel the force of your own blow with the spear as it just stabs through it, and it opens its maw with a blank expression about its eyes, and its breath just escapes its open mouth.
I will
It collapses back into an inanimate boulder.
kick this one and not do anything, and that's the end of my turn.
You swipe with your leg, it snaps into the back of this creature, who turns around, lifting up its hand to slam at you with a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah.
That is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage to you, sir. As the one by Rory is going to likewise raise its fist for a slam with a 13 to hit.
No.
All right, the one on the ground. Natural 1 to hit the hook horror next to it. Not going to do. The one by Threx is going to just attempt to slam into him with a 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is going to be 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And Mushi, the one you just struck at, is going to lash back at you with a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
That is going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage to you. And I believe it feels some fire.
He feels the
5
burn.
points of fire.
But that one is automatically a 2 all fire damage.
6 points of fire damage.
Ah.
That only for spells.
Okay.
As
Oh.
the hook horrors go, this guy is swiping the rock. Missing horribly. This guy climbing up the wall, swiping at Threx. Not going to hit. And the one that is restrained. Out. The highest roll of those three was a 4.
Oh, it's not trying to break out of its restraint?
That was
Oh.
the third roll. Was him trying to break out with a natural 2.
Ah,
Not
disadvantage.
Usually.
Ha!
Okay. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to aim for this guy,
All right.
and I'm going to hit him with this. And if that hits,
It will.
I'm going to do this, and the second creature within 5 feet of him.
So going in opposite order, casting the green flame blade to effectively.
I didn't know which one I had to hit first.
Going forward.
You do the blade first, and then you
then
attack.
finish.
Okay.
Okay, so the
okay.
first impact is going to do. That is now 3 piercing.
That's
7 fire
4,
plus
Well-
the extra 7 fire. No,
because each one is 2, and then there's an
7
additional
plus 8 for
5.
15 fire.
What's the total damage?
3 minus 15 fire. And the second guy near him is going to take 18 points of fire damage.
Yeah,
But he should also get an additional +5, shouldn't he? Because all of my fire damage have +5
Each one.
because I have the cloak.
An additional 5 to
Why don't you get front more often?
5 to you.
I'm learning how to be a friend. I'm very
As
excited.
you just sear in your blade into its form, cleaving a portion of its rock surface off, like it is. If it were a flesh creature, it would be disturbing. As that flame burns right through the hole that you left carved into it, right through to the hook horror that just took a swipe at Threx. And as it sears through, the creature noticeably is reacting and misses widely. It's swinging against Threx in an attempt to shield itself from some of this fire coming its way. Art swinging at the guy that is restrained. 1. Hit. That guy's looking rough. Rex.
How's this hook horror to my right looking?
Fairly sturdy.
Then I'll try to push him off of the cliff so he falls.
All right. Certainly try, sir. Wow. With a natural 2, I think you're going to succeed. As you are able to shove him backwards effectively, I'll give him an athletics check to maintain. He drops. Falling 40 feet. Roll me 46, please.
Nice.
14 points
Jeez.
of bludgeoning damage. Which is also dealt to the hook horror underneath him
Nice. 2 for 1.
as he falls prone on top of him. Anything else you would like to do, sir?
Second attack?
My second attack will be against the hook horror with my ranged weapon, so it'll be at disadvantage, but it's restrained, so normal.
Straight roll.
All right. Straight roll.
Oh!
That one.
Oh no. Art, watch out.
Rex,
Watch out, Art.
roll me one more attack with that hammer, please.
Oh, jeez.
Natural 20, watch.
As the hammer
Oh, man.
slides forward, slamming directly into Art's chest. And he noticeably wheezes.
Sorry.
Put the hammer out, and you can see his chest is somewhat caved in where it made impact. It just kind of lets go as the hammer glides back into Rex's hand. Anything else you'd like to do, sir?
I guess with my bonus action, I'll heal myself with, what is it called, Second Wind?
Second one.
All right. While you were doing that, Rory.
Okay, so I'm confused. Why can't I use my razier dagger and then my razier dagger again in a bonus attack? I have them both listed here.
If you have a regular dagger in your main hand, you can use another dagger in your offhand.
It
So you,
has to be
you
a
can't use the
separate
same weapon in both hands, basically.
Oh, is that how that works? It has
Yeah,
to
so
be-
it's like you've got one in each hand, so you can stab, and then your weak hand does less damage, so you can stab.
It's
with your
effectively one of those fine print rules where it's like you're stabbing with both hands at the same time, kind of a thing.
Okay, so I can put my regular dagger in one hand, stab first, and then bonus stab with my razier dagger.
Or I would do razier in your main hand because it does more damage, and then like a regular dagger in your offhand.
Dagger, dagger.
I didn't know. Well, my razier dagger is listed as a bonus action, so I've always thought that I could only use that one as my bonus. I didn't know I could use my dagger as my bonus.
Yeah, you can use a standard dagger as your bonus.
No problem.
Knowledge! Okay, well, I'll go razier first, and then regular dagger
We're learning
second.
lots about
All right,
daggers
slice
today.
away. if you
Yeah,
will.
there's a lot about daggers this week.
What about
A lot of daggers.
What a week to be alive.
A 17 slices into its form, and while your rapier almost scraped across the surface of this creature, the Resurrector Dagger plunges true and hits directly where you were intended to strike, dealing, what is that, 32 points of damage to it?
Is there an ally within 5 feet?
Yeah, I am. Technically.
Of the other one?
Technically, you are not.
No. Oh, no, I'm 7.5 feet away.
Neither one of us are in range.
So that is going to do 6 points of piercing damage with the first strike. But the offhand dagger also swings into it, and similar to the rapier, almost scrapes off being a non-magical quality, but it does look to do some damage to it.
Does she not have
Thrax's
or Cognar's +1 dagger?
Not anymore.
Verneo has that. Oh, never mind.
Anything else you would like to do, Rory?
I could give it to her. I'm not using it.
Does she still have the magical whip?
It's a new toy.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
is that a light weapon?
This one is a finesse weapon.
Oh, that's right.
Whip.
You could use Rezier on your whip then, instead of a regular dagger.
I thought we decided I couldn't combo those.
It was the
two.
rapier you couldn't combo.
You couldn't combo
Yeah, the rapier you couldn't, and it was everybody else telling you that the whip you can't, because
Standard whip.
rules as written, you're not supposed to be allowed to, but I love the idea of somebody with a dagger also striking out with a whip, and I think that's cool, and so I said that whip is specifically...
It's a magic whip. It allows
because also for the, I believe it was a bard-like character who wielded it, was able to attack twice with it.
Mm-hmm.
I said you could as well.
So I can use my cold tip whip, and then I can also use my razor dagger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or switch it up and go the Resurrector Dagger and then cold tip whip. Either or. No problem.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
that next
All
round.
right. Cool.
She's
That's
gonna be
like-
like,
Be a hero.
Oh,
Rory. Be a
oh,
hero.
my turn. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna continue with doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna hit him while he's down.
Good
I'm gonna
There's a
attack
lot of
the
them,
the grappled guy, the restrained guy.
All right.
Just because that's the most amount of damage I can put up.
All right.
Let's see, that's a natural 20 on one, and that's
Damage
a
on it.
22 on the second. Oh, the damage on it?
Damage on that first one.
Well, that's a natural 20, let me tell you.
Right.
Let's see, that's 8. 22?
22. The orange goo just starts to be crushed out of its form after your Eldritch Blast makes impact. And you can see these vines are now able to freely constrict across its form as, like crushing a walnut. Its form just bursts with this orange goo that starts to ooze out and drip off the sides of these vines. Who would you like as your second target?
The rock guy next to Threx.
Next to Threx. All right. That was a 22.
Yeah, 22.
Roll damage.
I'm going to use a bonus action in between to move my hex over.
The
to
hex.
that rock guy.
Awesome.
And that's going to be 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Anything else?
Yeah. Now that these guys aren't climbing up as much, I'm going to move over so Threx can get up in here if he needs to.
All right. Gorneo.
I'm going to
Disadvantage
try to
on strength for him, by the way.
Stab this little thing. 24.
24 is going to hit. Dealing 10 damage.
10 damage. And then I will hit it again.
14 does not hit, however.
I will kick it.
All right. Agitated frustration, you plunge with the spear a second time, and it bounces off of its rough form as you kick out with your leg and seem to do more impact than you did with the second strike, as your leg just blasts into its form and it recoils ever so slightly. Anything else you would like to do?
That's the end of my turn.
As it raises its fist up and swings back at you with a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Numbers. 13 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Ouch.
Rory, the one right next to you, is going to lash back with a 13 to hit.
Can I dodge it?
Half the.
Will a 13 hit?
No, 13 doesn't hit you, right?
Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry.
You don't even have to dodge. You are dexterous enough as it is for it to not hit you. Rex, the one closest to you, swinging with a 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm. These rock asses hit me every single time.
They're pretty brutal.
14 points of bludgeoning damage to you, sir. And Mushi, the one swinging towards you, with a 12 to hit.
Oh, good. I really can't take any more.
On the ground, swings at the Hook of Horror, smashing into its form. As the Hook of Horror flashes back. Flashes back successfully, doing boost damage. Its buddy stands itself back up and begins to climb the wall, getting effectively halfway up. That bars Mushi.
Okay, so on the green flame blade, I know it says that the second fire has to leap into another creature within 5 feet of it of your choice. If there's not, can it still do the original fire damage just without the extra fire leaping damage?
Yeah.
Or do you have to have another creature?
I'm going to say yes, as I double check one thing.
Well, it doesn't say you have to. It says it can, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cast it.
That's what I'm looking for.
What, green flame blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically you're targeting the creature within range.
And then I could additionally, if I
So
want.
as long as you can attack a creature within melee range with blade.
Okay, and I'm going for the one I hit just previously, the one with my threat. Oh, it makes me a hole I can get out of.
Target once again, targeting the same value you struck last time.
Yeah.
That you can see within 5 feet. It sounds like you have to use it by the reading. But I don't, that is what it is.
I'd say if it was worded as and one creature within 5 feet, I would say that it would then have to bounce to threats. But because
it does target a different creature of your
choice, though,
right?
Not just targeting a creature within 5 feet, but of your choice. So if she
Words.
chooses not to, I'm going to say it doesn't affect threats.
Yeah.
Or she could have it bounce back to her, and with her fire immunity, taking 0
I'll be
fire.
okay.
So Mushi, roll the attack.
Okay. And where is it? There.
So Mushi deals.
And then both of those have +5 fire, and then the one is a 2.
Double checking one thing. So it's just +5 fire damage.
Okay, not on each fire attack.
It's not 12 + 5 and 7 + 5 because you're dealing effectively fire damage as an attack.
Different sword.
That total of 17 + 7 for 24 points of fire damage. Ripping into its form. Anything else you would like to do?
24, 25, because the one's a 2.
And with your numbers, 25 points of fire damage.
Okay, that one little point could be it, okay? You never know.
Art glides up to Sean, reaching forward towards Lothar, and making your stuff.
If it was Gerbender, he could use like channel divinity and like help out all of us.
Yeah, he could, but not everyone's below half. And that's going to be 14 hit points to Lothar.
We're buds, apparently. It's the first time I met him. He's a great healer. Good job, buddy.
And he's going to continue to keep Lothar between himself and Threx. As Threx, you are up.
Wait, what?
He's just gonna stand behind you.
Lothar, he seems to be almost cowering behind you.
Holding the hammer.
He doesn't want to get hit again by me.
Threx, what would you like to do?
This little guy packs a punch apparently. Since I'm gonna try to throw this guy off again. The guy to my right.
All right. Opposed athletics check, you've got disadvantage on this.
And so
He
does
does as well.
He does as well. Wow. Dropping his 13 down to an 8.
14.
I rolled a 14 with
Lift him up and hurl his form across down the gap.
Threx is making a pile of people down there.
2d6 as it hits the guy halfway up. Points of bludgeoning damage to him. And he maintains his grapple, but the boulder dude effect bounces off into the guy below, and for the guy below, roll me another 2d6. Roll of 14 damage as this boulder just crushes the hook forward down below. And it greets the gaze of the other, and both of them just open their mouths, both echo out this call.
Oh, man.
Anything else you would like to do?
Alright, taking this opportunity, seeing Mushi in the middle of battle, but she's starting to turn towards the one behind her again. Without her knowing, I'm going to try to grab her. I can't do that. There's not...
You just attack the guy next to you.
There's not enough space for her to stand there. So never mind. I'll just throw my hammer at the guy beside.
Alright. Fire away, sir.
Natural 1 hits her, natural 20 kills her. That would be hilarious.
Too bad I don't have advantage, but I throw it in.
That is going to make impact for 18 points of bludgeoning. Cracking into its form, it lets out a howl of pain.
How hurt does Mushi look?
Give me a medicine check.
Medicine.
She looks to have a number of wounds about her form. Though this fire that continues to swarm her, you've seen do damage to the boulder as it attempts to strike at her.
But she doesn't look like she's about to go down any second.
Depending on the hit, it's possible.
Alright, then I'll just yell at Mushi. Back behind me, Mushi. And I use my new maneuvering tactics, I think it's called.
Maneuvering
pretty much she can move half her speed away from him without provoking opportunity attacks, and he takes 8 more points of damage.
So what's that one called?
Mushi, if you like to,
attack.
you can use half your speed as your reaction to move away from him if you want. Without provoking opportunity attack.
You choose a friendly creature you can see or hear you. That creature can use its reaction to move half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks from the target of your attack.
I will take it.
So she can move up to
From a
15
maneuvering
feet
attack?
Yeah. So you can move to the side of me.
Don't you have to make an attack roll?
He did.
I
He hit
just
it with
hit
the
him.
hammer.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was against the hook horror.
No, that was against
the rock guy.
right next to Mushi.
Okay, I thought you said the guy right next to me. Sorry.
Miyushi.
Miyushi, okay. So that smacks into the guy next to Mushi. And now Mushi, as he takes an additional 8 points of bludgeoning damage, you can choose to move half your movement speed if you would like.
Like right now, or do I have to wait till my turn?
Right now.
Right
That's your
now.
reaction.
It's your reaction.
Okay, I'm out. Sauerkraut.
Alright,
So
and that would be my turn.
Rory.
I had enough one-on-one for a little while.
Rory.
You're muted again.
We want to hear your voice.
Use your words.
I'm here.
As you lash out against the animated boulder in front of you.
Yes, that's exactly my plan. You understood me without even needing to hear me. I love it.
You were miming it. I could tell.
Cold tip and brazier.
All right, cold tip whip. lashes forward, but he holds up his own hand and seems to resist the impacting force behind the whip.
Ooh.
You take this opportunity to sink the blade forward, and its animated form drops as a hefty exhale of breath can be heard.
How sturdy is this bridge, by the way?
As this
There's a lot of
boulder is
people on this.
effectively left in front of you.
Okay. With a bonus. All right, that works. In that case, that'll be my move. Well, I'll step forward.
Step on top of the rock.
Can I climb the rock?
She is king
You
of
can
the hill.
certainly try.
I will try and climb the rocks and stand on top of the corpse of my foe.
All right. Feel free to roll me an athletics or acrobatics check.
It,
No safety.
Climbing over this boulder to an effectively flanking position with Gorneo.
Oh, thank
And
God.
now you guys have an ally within 5 feet of your enemy.
You know what? I'm an idiot. I could have been playing this fight really differently. I could fly. I gotta
Man.
remember that.
I can fly.
how could you forget?
I don't know.
Rory, anything else you would like to do?
That's my turn.
All
I
right,
could have
Lothar.
easily been within 5 feet of you.
All right, Lothar is going to bonus action Hex towards the one between Gorneo and Rory.
All right.
We'll do Strength again.
All right.
2 Eldritch Blasts. That's going to
I
be...
don't believe you can change your hex while another creature's still alive. The other hexed creature
Oh,
is
is
still
he
alive.
still alive?
He's still
Oh,
down
yeah,
there
yeah.
and still alive.
But
He
I threw
just
him.
got thrown off the side.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thrown off the side, not out of his existence yet.
Probably
Alright.
wishes he was.
Alright, well, in that case, I'll look down and shoot at him then. The one that I
You
hexed.
changed my plans.
That's a natural 20
Nice.
Don't hit.
and a 25.
25 is also going to hit.
Alright, let's solve natural 20 first. Let's see, that's really good. 29 points of damage to the rock dude down there.
9 points of damage. As your twin bolts just blast into
That's
its
one.
form, the animated boulder's breath escapes its form as it drops down.
Okay, well, in between my second attack, I would like to move my hex over to the one between Rory.
All right, and now fire that second bolt, which was a what? It was a hit. Roll
Yeah,
damage.
it was a 25.
25. Yeah, roll damage.
That's going to be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. Bolt arcs across the bridge, underneath Art, over Rory, and right into this little creature's form. Anything else you would like to do?
Nope, I'm good.
Gorneo.
I'm going to hopefully obliterate this thing.
You can try.
24 to hit.
24 is going to hit for 21, 2, 3 points of damage. As the spear pierces right through its form, as it recoils, it once again blocks the second swing out from any serious impact of it.
And it gets to go right after me. Okay, I have to do this. I have to use my bonus action to disengage because I'm actually at a really low life. I'm one. If it crits me, I'm dead. Actually, so I'm gonna disengage, and I'm just going to fly this way,
All right.
and that's the end of my turn.
All right. It raises its fist up and watches Gorneo just drift away before turning back around to face Rory and taking a slam in her direction
Sorry,
with
Rory.
a 21 to hit Rory.
Bye, Gorneo.
Dude, I have 21 HP left. Like, if it crits me, I'm in serious trouble.
Rory, this is going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay.
As this one closes the distance with Threx and
And you
swings
can uncanny dodge that.
swings at him. Yes, you can have. Threx, that's a 22 coming your way.
Still has not missed.
This is a different one, if that's any consolation.
Every different
But
one
that's
has
gonna
hit him.
10 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Pretty good DC. I mean, AC.
I know.
He's on fire
think
against the
Yours is
dwarves.
the only one that's been consistently hitting this well. The hook horrors have been doing shit this fight.
It seems like Ryan has a prejudice against dwarves because Cognar got hit a ton.
I think my dice
I'm not
got
raging right now. That's the thing.
I know, that's the worst.
Trying to save my rage.
at the 4. Wait, for the rock dude. Just another 4 for the hook horrors. Now making me wish I would have been saying their natural rolls out loud all night because they are doing so poorly. Michi, what would you like to do?
Okay, nope. I'm gonna target this guy that's climbing up the side of the wall. With a firebolt him.
Firebolt.
Not going to hit.
Arcing forward, it just bounces off of its hard exterior shell.
I was thrown off by leaving my melee range. Nice distant spells again. To refocus.
Anything else you would like to do?
That's what I got right now.
Right. Art, following speed, is going to come up to the hook horror, try to slice into it with its blade. Both going to make impact against it, dealing some damage as the ooze starts to flow from its wounds. Threx.
How far down is the hook horror?
About 15 feet down.
So he has to dash to get up to me?
No, he does not.
So he has a climbing speed.
Seems so.
Crap. Alright. My first attack, I'm going to try to hit the rock guy.
All right. Swing it. 17 is going to smash into this thing. As it does, the hefty exhale of breath can be heard. And the boulder almost blocks the passageway in front of you.
I know the blue djinn is looking scared as I take my hammer and throw it in his direction, trying to hit the hook horror.
No, hit the djinn. Hit the djinn.
Oh God, not again! 17 does significantly better as your 20 points of bludgeoning damage does manage to impact Art as he is showered by this bright orange ooze that explodes out from this creature's form.
Ooh, that's gross.
Anything else you would like to do?
I'll move
Run
up.
away.
Finally move. Finally are able to move, and I'll move up to there.
Finally able to move forward. Rory, what would you like to do?
I'll do Razier and my regular dagger attack against this guy who's still in front of me.
All right. Swing away.
Mm-hmm.
You do not get sneak attack on this because your ally left the 5-foot radius.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, fucking
But a 21 is going to hit stabbing. For 7.
Okay, and then I'll do my red letter. Where is she? There she is.
Whip it. Oh.
As you take your offhand dagger, just kind of smirk at this thing as you pull it out from between your teeth, stabbing upward into its form as its maw opens up. Rory, how do you want to do this?
Here you go.
Ooh! I want to stab it in the chin, straight up into its head, and I want to get its tongue so it sticks out.
Rory, you stab up through what appears to be its chin of this boulder, and while every other one of these creatures, as it expired, let out an audible exhale of breath, sounds different as it almost whistles as its closed, clenched jaws, due to the impact of your dagger, almost prevents it from exhaling entirely with a as this boulder is left almost blocking the bridge ahead. Similar to the one you're standing on now.
Cool.
And with that, we are effectively going to drop out of combat, as the party is going to have little problem picking off the one remaining animated boulder before he could make his way back up.
I'm going to tell Drex to push all the boulders off of the bridge. So we have a clear passage if we have to retreat.
I heard something like this before. In a village, they call it bowling.
I heard of that village.
Bouldering.
Boulder Dash?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Drex to make sure he pushes all of them off the bridge, and like that one in the hallway, he could roll it off the edge so we have the clear pathway if we have to make an escape, a quick escape or something.
All right.
That did happen last time.
Rolling these things are fun, soda.
All right.
Gorneo will cover his boomerang.
All right. Gorneo picks back up his boomerang as a number of loud, audible crashes as these boulders drop the 40 feet off the bridge, tumbling down below with a noticeable impact, kind of shaking and quaking the cavern ever so slightly. And once again, the cavern about you guys seems to have an audible presence, as it seems to almost groan as the boulders smash into it down below.
And creature, apparently, that we're like inside of.
I'm sure if anybody was
Can I get a perception check from everybody?
Don't roll less than a 10. Come on, roll good.
I don't understand this place at all. Corneo, of course you would.
Finally a decent 22.
I like how your name's still Semos on there.
And Lothar?
18.
Oh, it's because I
18.
redid it. He wasn't.
Lothar, Gorneo, and Semos, as these loud audible crashes and the quaking of the cavern can be heard, after your previous experience, both Threx and Lothar immediately look up. Gorneo follows their gaze as they can see movement from up above, as the stalactites themselves seem to be growing closer. This time not so much in a falling manner, but they are noticeably growing about 6 or 7 feet in this one instance. This brief moment, that stalactite, while usually taking decades to form, has in this brief moment just a patch of them have extended themselves about 7 feet.
Are they over us or away from us?
Like scattered throughout the rooftop of this cavern.
That sounds like trouble.
And I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Okay then.
We need Gerbender.
You need his healing touch.
Yeah, seriously.
Me and Cornell, I think we're on the exact same page right now. You're at 21, I'm at 22. But I was a melee fighter, guys. I did it for a day. I'm so proud of me.
To make you rethink your warlock?
Damage, too.
Yeah. It made me think of warlock now. Sorcerer fighter class.
Eldritch Knight.
I can do it.
Necromancer Knight.
Warlock Knight would probably be pretty good.
I mean, it's just a death knight. Let's be honest. That's what.
What? No, totally not. No. Shh. But with that, can we go through and get every character's highlights for this session and what each character is hoping to accomplish next week? Starting with Gorneo.
I can fly. That's kind of dope. That's definitely my highlight. I'm going to have to change my tactics up, I think, a bit with that ability that I can do that now. That chain lightning spell was pretty cool. So that's also really neat. And
if you could keep track of the charges for the spear.
Yeah, I've got 2 left until next dawn, and then I can roll it again. It has 5 total, though. pretty decent at Gorneo's resource management. There's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it.
But yeah, that was fun. Next session, I want to take a short rest and get healed up because I'm pretty beat up. And
All
then,
right.
Continue with what we're doing.
And then just give up altogether, go home.
Oh yeah, just
tire.
out. Be like, this thing's growing.
Right.
We just need to leave. No.
Right. Be like, you know what? It's creepy down here. I'm out. Peace. I'm taking my spear and I'm going home.
I mean, it is kind of in the spear's nature.
Right. Rory. Highlight for this session, and what's Rory looking forward to accomplishing next week?
Well, Rory's always happy when Thornwick can actually pull someone away from danger, and the amount of damage it deals is like not as bad. So that was cool.
I'm happy you saved me.
Good, I'm glad. For next session, let's see. I think it's going to be important for us to figure out what these little descending lights are coming toward us. Not that I can see them, but hopefully someone's going to raise the alarm soon. That's all know. And I think probably what we're going to want to do is just scurry like chinchillas and get the fuck out of there. That's just, I guess. But yeah, try and avoid like another major fight before we can take a rest. And then hopefully, ultimately, our ultimate goal, which is to get to the heart of things and take down the beasts of cultists.
Awesome. Lothar.
Let's see. Lothar's highlight would probably be...
You were a dinosaur.
I was a dinosaur. I turned into a bridge and almost killed Gorneo.
You got over it.
But you did save Gorneo.
You did save me?
From what? Who knows? But at the very least from that river.
I was thinking giant octopus, but then I was like, well, it's only a large creature, and it's not going to be as helpful. So I was like, yeah.
I can tell you that the giant octopus would not have helped you with the mud river.
Yeah.
Because those who went and took a dip into the river found out it was a lot less mud underneath the surface and much more like grinding stone.
Yeah. So, good thing I was a dinosaur. That was pretty much it. Just did some cleanup. Saved some people today with my feature that I'm probably never going to use again, the counter charm. That was great. Yeah. That was the highlights. Next week, yeah, getting out of this crazy cavern would be nice, one way or another. I think that's it for now for him.
Oh, beans. Rex.
Well, my highlights were throwing the rock people off and making them fight the Hokors, and then throwing another one off and killing the Hokor. That was my highlights. That was pretty fun. Goal, Rex was saving himself all the way through that fight. He didn't raise. He only used one superiority die. He did not accent surge. So he's ready to go, people. He's ready to go. He's wanting to hurry up and get to this prophet and kill him because, honestly, he wants to get past this prophet for multiple reasons. He wants to go say hello to the major. And for a little bit, at least, he's going to know at least the area he's in. That's what Threx is thinking.
Cool beans. And Mushi.
Okay, my highlight was obviously stabbing things. Very excited.
Stabby.
I've never, she's never been a melee combat person and has never even been able to do a reaction on someone. So I'm just so excited for her right now.
With your negative strength modifier, I don't think you've ever successfully hit something.
No,
I don't think
Well, even when you did
never
hit, you did like
damage.
0 damage.
Negative 1 damage every time.
Sometimes healing them up
Never
with
hit
quarter
anything.
stat.
So I'm like, this is a whole new side. I'm pretty excited. I've literally never hit anything before, like 2 episodes ago. So, and then, I have this green flame blade that I'm learning how to use too. So I'm having lots of fun. But next session, I'm kind of more with Threx on the fact that I just want to get to the next main guy, kill him, and be on our way. I understand we may need a rest, but at the same time, like, time's not our friend. So I'm like, let's just press on. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm like, nope, we're going to press on. So I just want to get to the next prophet and kill it. And, far into the future, after the prophets are dead, if we succeed, I want to look into getting boots of jumping so I can jump 10 feet quickly. Literally almost cost me my life every single time I've had to take a small jump.
It's always true.
Nishi's new plan is to just murder Gorneo
You say
and steal
that.
the secret.
Rex has something like that on his person.
Right?
Maybe there was a reason I tried to kill you before.
That's not the way to go about bringing that up in conversation.
He's not even using them at this point. Just in his backpack.
Oh, really? I'll have to talk to you about that. Because, elevator almost died like 3 times on that. Mud puddle once. Trending. Not so good with that. So, yeah, I'm going to, far in the future, that's my goal there, is to get something to help me jump 10 feet.
Who knows? You'll need it like in the very next room. Who knows?
I probably will. Rex, give me the... Yeah. I had fun stabbing things. It's very exciting. And, not only do I get to stab them, but I get to stab them and burn them. So it's like double whammy. I'm just so excited.
Well, with that, it's been an awesome session tonight, guys. Looking forward to next week. Who knows? Could even be a profit fight next week. Who knows?
Hopefully Ben shows up.
Maybe.
We're really
Will the party have
lucky.
to face a prophet without the cleric?
Not yet.
I mean, I could really use a channel divinity right now.
Maybe
We need to
Commander
catch up
just
on 2
peaced out.
episodes now.
Who knows?
So, yeah.
Maybe Remender accidentally switched out the spear and the dagger and took off on his own nefarious deeds. All these magical properties are just coincidence.
Mhm.
All in your head. Renee can't really fly. That's ridiculous. Ludicrous. Insane. Those crystals are still clearly having an effect on everyone's memory and recollection.
We did
of
that
what's going
room.
on. But you saw them from a distance. Awesome session tonight, guys. Catch you all next week.
Yep.
Adios.
Bye.